Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. Boy, yesterday sure was exciting. Two huge things happened. Number one, Jared Goff set history again as becoming the only quarterback in NFL history to have, I think it was 2 games this year where he threw for over 400 yards and had a perfect quarterback rating. So, hey, cheers to JG16 being exactly the guy that we all know that he is. And number two, not only did we win, but hey, Buffalo doing what Buffalo does well, and that is beat the Chiefs in the regular season, opening it up wide for the Lions to sit nicely at the number one poll spot on the power rankings. It should be pretty much unanimous. I mean, you could probably argue that maybe Buffalo after slaying Kansas City, but let's be real, guys. Kansas City has been playing real boring football. It's not as exciting as it once was. Patrick Mahomes is having to play more cerebral and rely less on his natural athletic ability. We do know that Patrick Mahomes had a banged-up ankle at one point, so I think that's starting to limit him. But the Chiefs were winning games, and they're going to still win games, but they're no longer perfect, and that is just awesome. Possums are awesome. That is just awesome to hear. And then, hey, you guys, we turned around and dropped 52 on the Jags. That was just, I mean, could you, like, it's... As a Lions fan who spent so many years being who the Jags are right now, a perpetual bottom feeder in the league who just routinely makes all of the wrong decisions, whether it be coaching or player personnel, it feels good to not be that team. It feels good to win and win so resounding. I mean, we didn't punt the ball once. We scored on every possession except for the final drive, which ended in a kneel out. And we put up almost 650 yards of offense. I say it all the time, but I'm telling you, Brad Holmes is playing Madden out here. You know, and all those 600 or almost 650 yards, I had a 10-leg parlay built around the Lions game. And I hit 9 of those 10 legs. I was 5 yards short of $1,200. Thank you, David Montgomery. I needed 100 yards of total production out of him, and I got 95. But every other leg hit. J-Mo's yardage, amon-ra catches, touchdown, J-Mo touchdown, Monty touchdown, Gibbs touchdown, Goff over 2 touchdowns. I had Goff to throw for 2 or more touchdowns. I even had Goff throwing for over 350 yards. I took the over. I took the points. I mean, look, when you looked at the numbers, we were plus 14. We were a 14-point favorite. It took a lot to get that parlay up to that 10-legger. I had to put a lot of ridiculous stuff in it to get it to a $1,200 cash out. And it damn near all hit, except for David Montgomery. And it is what it is, guys. But hey, we're here to talk about the Lions. I'm going to be honest, it was such an obscene blowout. Do you guys really want me to break down the game play by play, quarter by quarter? I don't think so. For lack of a better term, it was fun to watch, but it was boring, right? Look, man, when we went up 21-3, I said to Hat and Boobs, I was like, well, I'm going to be honest, this game's over, right? It's over. Jacksonville already packed it in. Their opening drive was nice. They had their scripted plays, right? They opened up with their scripted playbook, and they were able to drive down the field and get a field goal, right? And then we just decided to just put the pedal to the metal. Now, some people might argue and say that we're getting a little ridiculous about it, but when you've been the Detroit Lions for as long as you have, and you've been the joke of the NFL for as long as you have, everybody's going to kind of get their comeuppance from us, right? Like this is decades worth of payback, right? This is no longer just the disrespect of Jared Goff, the disrespect that was given to Dan Campbell, the disrespect that was given to the Lions organization when we made this big front office change, when Sheila took over, all this stuff. It was kind of a joke to everybody. And last season pretty much proved that we are legit. And this season proves that we're here to stick around for the long haul. We're going to be mean and in your face. And it was just awesome to see Zadarius Smith out there in the Honolulu blue. He seems to fit just like a glove, both personality-wise and athleticism-wise. all game long. He was putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He did come away with a nice big sack. We were a little nervous there when he was sitting there holding his rib. There is another injury we need to talk about here later on in the video. Got some news about Alex Anzalone. But Za'Darius Smith, who showed up, if I remember, I'll try and pop it in here when I'm editing. He showed up wearing a Rasheed Wallace jersey. And guys, I don't normally say the vibes or whatever, but are the vibes of this Lions team not the exact same vibes that we got from Bad Boys 2 when Sheed came to the Pistons, right? When it just finally took, when that was like the missing piece. You know what I'm saying? And although I do think that we are going to make a long run and this could be our Super Bowl year, I think teams need to be more worried about the future of the Detroit Lions once Aiden Hutchinson gets back healthy. And you pair him with Za'Darius Smith. Our front four is going to be one of the most aggressive and feared front four in the entire NFL. When all four guys, when you get Liam, Reeder, Za'Darius Smith, and Aiden Hutchinson, it's going to be just nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and opposing offensive line. So, look, I'm not going to talk about the game, but we are going to talk about a little bit of news. There is a little bit of people are getting sick of the way we're handling things. Not that we're handling things unprofessionally, but we are kind of beating up on teams, right? This kind of started back against Dallas when we wanted to prove the point about eligibility of offensive linemen and checking in and not checking in, and we lined Dan Skipper out at wide receiver, and that was so egregious that fat governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, decided to set down his tub of lard that he just injects into his veins to criticize the Detroit Lions. And no, no, there you go, Chris Christie. No, you're a fat loser, so no. But I did find this little article here because we are getting a little bit of criticism for embarrassing opponents the way we're embarrassing them, right? Our defense is intense. And Brian Branch loves to set the tone early and often. You don't see a lot of defenders coming Brian Branch's way after the first couple of drives because he is a dude flies with his hair on fire, 150 miles an hour. He's a man possessed out there on defense, and it is outstanding to see. Now, excuse me. Before we get into this article, I've got this here from sportingnews.com. Before we get into it, do me a rock solid favor. You guys know what I'm going to ask. Please like the video if you enjoy the content that we're making. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out on any future content. Also, when you subscribe to my channel, it helps the algorithm know to push my content out there. And last but not least, do two things for me. Comment down below what you thought of the game, and then go ahead and share this around with your friends. And by share this around with your friends, I mean go ahead and just click share and copy the URL. You don't actually have to send it to anybody. The algorithm just takes the copying of the URL as a share. So I appreciate that. Finally, to all you hunters out there, I hope you guys are having a lot of success. My old man bagged a little 6-pointer opening day. I haven't seen anything, but, there is still plenty of time, and I'm on vacation until December 2nd. So it's a beautiful day here in Michigan. It's nice and warm. The sun is out. The Lions won. Jared Goff should be back into the running for league MVP, okay? Talk about a bounce-back game, guys. Talk about a bounce-back game. Like, yeah, the Houston game was intense, man, but those 5 turnovers were really a black mark on everything. So, Big PP Ben Johnson and JG16 decided to go out and put on a clinic for all to see against the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Macaroni and Cheese Jones, who is not Trevor Lawrence. And honestly, at this point, I don't think Trevor Lawrence could make this team any better, right? I don't think he has it in him. So let's go over here and read this news coming to you from sportingnews.com. Lions defenders have blunt message for critics of Detroit embarrassing opponents. There's my boy Kirby Joseph. Curbzilla. Kirby Joseph. Fun fact about Kirby Joseph, he now has 7 interceptions on the season, leads the NFL. Also, since coming into the NFL, he leads all safeties since he entered the NFL with 15. Dude's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Dude's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Also, speaking of Hall of Fame trajectory, if the Lions win the Super Bowl and Jared Goff wins league MVP, Jared Goff's in the Hall of Fame. All right, here we go. Who wrote this here? Mark Moratis. Mark Moratis. Rick Moranis. The Detroit Lions improved their record to 9-1 on the season after dismantling the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. And, in the process, they now have the share of the best record of the NFL after the Chiefs lost. The Lions absolutely embarrassed the Jaguars on Sunday, winning 52-6. This is just the latest example of Detroit blowing out a team and making it look bad, which has been the topic of conversation all season long. We're going to pause this. Don't want that. It really kicked off after the Dallas Cowboys Week 6. Not only the Lions handedly, but they also trolled the Cowboys. Trolled the Cowboys with Dan Skipper, pissed off fat Chris Christie. We've already talked about that. Ironic. Even Green Bay's safety Xavier McKinney said something about the style in which the Lions have won in certain games this season ahead of the Week 9 game against Detroit. In my opinion, I think they're trying to embarrass people, McKinney said, according to Kyle Malalanz from Local 5. This organization and players we have here, they don't take that lightly. Well, if you don't like it, Xavier McKinney, play better, get good, no Johns. What do you want from me here, bud? When asked about the latest victory, cornerback Carlton Davis had a blunt response for any criticism here. Yeah, Carlton Davis, dude. If people have a problem with what we're doing or complaining about it, then they can just come out here and play better football. Yeah. If you don't like it, do better. We're just playing football, Kirby Joseph said. On the Detroit Sports Podcast, if you're not coming ready to win, then you're going to get your ass whooped. There's absolutely nothing wrong with anything the Lions have done this season. This is the NFL, and if you don't come fully prepared against the best team in the league, expect to get embarrassed, plain and simple. That's the long and short of it, dude. If you're not going to come ready, if you're not going to come right, if you're going to just assume that because the status quo has always been, well, you know, teams tend to take their foot off the gas once they get up by so many points. That's not what we do. Our entire team, top to bottom, has been disrespected by every single one of the other 31 teams in the NFL. Amon-Ra fell to the 4th round. Penei Sewell did not go number 1 overall. Hutch did not go number 1 overall. Jared Goff left for dead and traded out of LA. Disrespected. And now, Jared Goff is about to be the league MVP. Had a perfect passer rating. Threw for over 400 yards and 4 tutties yesterday. Talk about that short brain, that short memory. You just take the Houston game, and it's gone. I've been saying this for years now. Jared Goff has this really remarkable ability to just erase bad plays right out of his mind. He learns. You see him go. You see him. We had scored our 4th or 5th touchdown of the day, and Goff's over on the sideline staring at the tablet, studying everything, trying to better himself. Brother, we're already just smashing. You don't need to get better, but he's out there always wanting to be better, bettering himself, wanting to make this team better, making everybody better, right? You got to love it. You got to love it. You got to love it. Malcolm Rodriguez was back. That was a good thing to see, too. But, unfortunately, you win some, you lose some. When we gain players back, Malcolm Rodriguez was back. It was good to see. Unfortunately, one of the larger beating hearts of the defense is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken forearm. That being our high-flying, blonde-haired, hippie, heavy hammer, big hitter, Alex Anzalone. Alex Anzalone, in case you guys missed it, broke his forearm making a tackle. Lions defense takes another major hit after a starting linebacker to miss significant time after suffering an injury with the Jags. This coming to us from CBSSports.com, Jordan Diani. We're not going to read the whole thing, but yeah, you can see right there a little bit of protruding on the skin. That's not normal. Oh, that's his thumb. That's that dude's thumb. But you can see a little bit of disruption. You also, if you guys are paying attention during the game, Anzalone, I mean, he grabbed at his arm before he even hit the ground, and then he was walking off telling people, yeah, you could see him say, it's broke. It's broke. But talk about a fucking man, dude. He broke his arm, and then just look at him. He's too busy watching the tackles and watching plays than to worry about his busted arm, dude. Yeah, Alex Anzalone broke his left forearm while attempting to make a tackle on Travis Etienne. He entered week 11 as the second leading tackler behind Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell is having a massive breakout sophomore year, just like we said he was going to need to. Anzalone has 1 sack, 6 tackles for loss, and 4 passes defended. His 4th season with the Lions, so his 8th season overall. Man, 8 years. There are 7 weeks remaining in the NFL, so Anzalone could potentially return for a playoff run, but the Detroit Lions defense will miss him. Yeah, because, I mean, we got pretty gruesome divisional schedule coming up here. We still got to play everybody once and the Bears twice. And the North is the best team or the best division of football. We went 3-1 yesterday, and the only reason that we had that one loss is because of the Bears played the Packers. So one team was guaranteed to lose. So that's the end of that article. Real quick, Anzalone put over here on Twitter, formerly X, if it'll load. It ain't going to load. I think I had it over here. All right, here you go. Alex Anzalone via Twitter. Thank you, everyone, for all of the well wishes. As an athlete, a lot of times you think, why did this have to happen? But I like to think about it in the countless reps something bad didn't happen. I'm beyond blessed. I'll be back in no time. Fresh legs and all. All right, talk about positivity. He's ready to rock. He can't wait to come back. Fresh legs and all. He'll be coming off right at the time of the playoff run. It'll be about perfect timing, especially Alex Anzalone. We know that even when he does miss time, he doesn't miss time, as in he doesn't miss a step. He doesn't miss out on any film study. He will be just as involved with the team as he was now, just not out on the field. So more pressure gets put on Jack Campbell. Let's be honest, this is not the best thing to happen to Jack Campbell after Derek Barnes went out early on in the season. Rodrigo stepped up, Neiman stepped up, and Nowitzki stepped up. But you were able to rely on Alex Anzalone putting guys in proper position. That's probably going to now fall to Jack Campbell or maybe Brian Branch. He was really, though, outside, once Hutch went down, Alex Anzalone was the heart and soul and the leader of the defense, the emotional engine of the defense. So it will be a little different not having him out there, but we are so blessed to have the smartest GM in all of football, Brad Holmes, drafting guys like Action Jack Campbell, who can come in, who's just having a monster of a season. He's number 1 on the team in tackles. He got a half a sack last game. He's good in coverage now. You can't run past the guy, right? So Action Jack Campbell's going to step up and play even better. Does this hurt our defense overall? Yes, of course. Does it significantly kneecap us? No. Our defense, although last week against Houston had to be the heart and soul of the team to elevate us, to pull us out of a tailspin, our team runs through the offense. Our team runs through Jared Goff in the offense. We will boat race anybody. We'll put up more points than you can, regardless of how the defense is playing. We will score more points than you. We have too many weapons. Jamo, 4 catches, 124 yards and a touchdown, averaging 30 yards a catch. Amon-Ra, I think, had a career high in yardage with like 160 or something like that. David Montgomery is a punishing running back. Jahmyr Gibbs, too fast. Our offensive line, too strong. Our tight ends, too deep. Jared Goff, too good. Jake Bates, his leg is too big. I mean? There's just no weak spots. Even when we lose a player to injury, or when the league decides to suspend a player mid-game. Next man up, step up, now's your time to shine. Let me know what you guys think down below about the Alex Anzalone injury. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about, are the Lions being dicks in embarrassing opponents? I don't think so. It's been a long time coming. Let us enjoy it, okay? Yes, in 3 years from now, when we have 3 rings and we're still doing this to everybody, you can go ahead and make us the villains. That's fine. I will wear that black hat with pride. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you're going hunting, make sure you go out there, be smart, be safe, but go ahead and bag it for me. Share down below if you got a deer. If you're at work right now taking a hot poop, then I'm sorry. Try and use your vacation time. Make sure to share this around. All right, that's going to be it for me, you guys. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been attentive audience. Banga banga, frig off.